Returning now to our top story, the Prime Minister unveiling his electric vehicle strategy today, accelerating the rollout of charging and hydrogen refuelling stations to support 1.7 million electric vehicles nationwide by the end of the decade. Let's bring in Peter Khoury now from the NRMA for more analysis. Peter, good to see you. Thanks for your time. I understand electric vehicles only represented about 0.7% of new car sales in Australia last year, while the market share rose above 10% in Germany and the UK in the same year. Firstly, set the scene for us. Why have we been so behind other advanced countries on this front?
Yeah, we are definitely behind. Of that, there is no doubt. But if we look at the progress that we've made in the last 6 to 12 months alone, we think that we will catch up and catch up relatively quickly. So today's announcement is a continuation of government policies at all levels that are now starting to direct attention finally to this issue. We are seeing significant investment, partnership investment now at the federal government level, also at the state government for building infrastructure. And we are now starting to look at measures that can be adopted to reduce the ticket price of an electric vehicle. And if we can address those two issues, then we expect to see Australians driving electric vehicles in great numbers sooner than what I think a lot of people would expect. Price of the vehicle has to come down. We need to get to parity with petrol and diesel cars, and experts are saying that could happen within 5 years. And we need to continue to build on the work that the NRMA and others started doing 4 or so years ago with rolling out charging infrastructure. You do those two things, and we expect to see a lot more electric vehicles on the roads in Australia.
Yeah, infrastructure is a really important part of it, isn't it? We have heard vehicle manufacturers citing that Australian government transport policies have been a big barrier to greater uptake here in Australia. The charging infrastructure is one thing, but would you have liked to see tighter vehicle CO2 targets wrapped into today's plan? Would that do more to lift the uptake?
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you through this earpiece, but I think if you were talking about incentives that we're looking for in terms of government policy, well, we're starting to see incentives at the state level. The New South Wales government has rolled out its strategy for that approach, including cash incentives to buy electric vehicles. We need to see, I mean, let's be honest, no one's covering themselves in glory here. We need manufacturers to be more aggressive and more focused on bringing more makes and models here to Australia. We're still paying more than what counterparts overseas are paying. There is a $20,000 difference on the price tag of a Tesla 3 in Australia compared to the United States when you take into consideration exchange rates and taxes. And so, we obviously want to see more incentives, and that work is now continuing. There is work that we can look at in terms of technology and the role technology can play in improving the batteries that we are building and putting in these cars. And as we continue to look at how we can reduce that ticket price, then more Australians will take up electric vehicles. Australia, it has one of the oldest fleets in the OECD, the second oldest fleet after New Zealand. We are notoriously slow at upgrading our family car and our business car. And when we do, we love a second-hand bargain. So we face challenges in this country that we obviously have to address. But what we also need to do is make sure that we get those ticket prices down to make it a more attractive offer to families, and also to make sure that they are confident that anytime they want to charge anywhere, they'll be able to do so. The policy today announced with a considerable increase in funding for that charging infrastructure will go some way to doing that.
Peter Khoury from the NRMA, always appreciate you making the time to speak with us. Thank you.